died in 1937, she closed up the house and moved back to her big house in Malden, Massachusetts. And so she just left everything.
And donated it to the society,
Including her crystal ball, which is one of her favorite things. I don't know. But when you go into the dining room, you'll see her crystal balls is with her in the painting of this.
And you see the walls here, the tapestries. There's 5 tapestries. They match the 3 out in the Olmsted Gallery. The Andersons were at the top level of Washington society, and so they had to have a place to entertain that was top level like this. And she can't have a place that narrow, can she?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I know they were horses, but
Yeah.
still.
That would be really uncomfortable.
I'm not trying to flatter her.
Yeah, so this table is that table.
Oh, yeah.
If you were out in the French drawing room, in the cabinet, one of the cabinets, you
The
may have
crystal
seen that
ball.
crystal ball. Same one.
Yeah, I remember he was saying it was in the portrait.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you about this one here. Isabel wrote about 40 books, travelogues and children's books for the most part, and a few odds and ends there, here and there. And after she finished every book, mostly, Lars would give her a present. And this is one of the things he gave her. You know, it's a symbol of his romance and love for her, and it's a functional item. Now, can you guess what function that is?
It looks like a symbol on a
Impressing people?
book or something. Looks so familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
This lifts off, and you
Oh.
put a flammable fluid in there. Put this back on, and that flammable fluid releases
like-
vapors up here. Stick a match to it,
Uh-huh.
and of course it flames up just like a volcano. And then you take your cigar, light your cigar. And nothing says romance like a cigar lighter, does it?
And so we do allow researchers to look at these materials. But we also have images and, it could be published. And these letters are actually published in the papers of George Washington. So it's, they don't get called for. People aren't really coming to look at the original. They're coming to look at our orderly books and muster rolls and other unpublished manuscript material. So it's interesting. But for example, if you looked in the published edition, you wouldn't see that Washington, he's mad, and then he's feeling a little, and it looks like he started to, there's a ghost of a D, like his inclination was.
More affectionate.
And then it's still military command. There's something that's going on there, and you wouldn't get that in the. I'm sure in the published writings they wouldn't make a footnote about that. So sometimes it's well worth looking, and the fact it's all in his handwriting is very significant.
His fingerprints are on this, right?
And it's wonderful to research here. Ellen and her staff are very helpful and supportive of research here. I've
Right.
had
Well,
the pleasure.
and we have about 50. We're up to really busy. I think since you've been, we host about 50 researchers a month now.
I just wanted to introduce my new best friend, a retired librarian.
Good. Oh, wonderful. Hi. Welcome.
I'm Susie McDonough and
Good.
Sandy.
Good. Welcome. Well, actually, this was like my favorite day. We know that Peel made in '78 and made 100 impressions from it's a mezzotint, which is a kind of engraving. And the scarcity is a little bit of a mystery, but in 1780, 2 years later, he made a larger engraving of Washington, sort of full length with cannon and figures in the background, and it's almost like he himself sort of superseded this smaller engraving, and may have even withdrawn it from the market because it's so odd that copies aren't out there. He's such a famous artist and so forth. But this was, there was one discovered that's now the first one known. It was discovered in 1992 and is at the National Portrait Gallery. And then a dealer from Maine found this one in a Canadian collection and offered it to us first.
The Washington family suddenly show up and infest the place. It's a great pleasure for them and for the Cincinnati, I think. It's a really awesome building. It would be difficult to reproduce